Hey y'all, Tename K-Man, and today I'm going to be reviewing episode 10 of Fruit Baskets. And I gotta say, this episode wasn't the most grandiose Fruit Baskets episode per se. It wasn't the funniest episode of the series. It wasn't the most emotionally engaging episode of the series. But, despite all that, this episode was pretty darn good, and let me explain why. For one, let me start by mentioning what it did pretty well from the character standpoint. For one, it made Kagura a bit more of a natural character because it's a part of it. No, it kind of was somewhat of a Valentine's Day episode because it starts out with the funny gag where chicks would get into Yuki's locker room. His locker door. They would remove a chocolate that some other girl put, and they'd put their own. Then it would start again. The girl would see that chocolate and put it in the trash until one of them would get the most attention from Yuki when it came to chocolates. And then I liked how at the end you even see Yuki not even give a shit about the chocolate he received. So this episode had a nice build-up of humor and nice execution of it. So from a script standpoint, it was pretty nice. Now, let me mention Kagura. Now, of course, she kind of does have her abrasive personality where she kind of hits Kyo, but it's kind of toned down because really the only hits you get is like maybe a poke where like Kyo gets knocked the fuck out. And I think that's about it. For the most part, when Kagura and Toru wanted to have like a double date with like Yuki and Kyo, for the most part it was nice to see Kagura not do anything abrasive or do any punching or cause Kyo to bleed. So that was cool. It made her into a more tolerable character. So I gotta give it credit to that. Let's hope if they do show off Kagura in future episodes, they continue on that trend. And what I also liked about this episode was it showed off that with Sugar Day, there's more than meets the eye. Because here's the thing: previous episodes they kind of showed him off as a comedy relief character until I mentioned the whole thing in regards to him kind of like being glad that things weren't going necessarily towards Akito's favor. In one of the previous episodes, when Kyo and Yuki were about to go to the New Year's celebration when it came to like the household around where Akito's at. So that was foreshadowing. Then we get more foreshadowing here when you have Shugure pretty much mentioned that he has an ambition that could cause either Kyo, Yuki, or Toru to get hurt, and he's willing to take a punch for it, and he's willing to lie and all that. But every single time he sees the purity of Toru, like you can see Shugure even acknowledge to himself that he's like the dirtiest of them all. So I find that pretty interesting. Think it adds much more layers to the character. And it shows you that he's a man of conviction because for one, you can see all the sequences where he has such a great appreciation for Toru. And despite that, he's willing to do something that might hurt Toru. And I'm assuming it's going to be something emotionally. I don't think it would physically hurt Toru or fucking Yuki and fucking Kyo would be all over him, willing to like give him the biggest beatdown in his life. It's probably gonna be something emotional. Shit, regardless if it's something emotional, they'd probably still beat him down and it'd be justified, but I digress. It shows you his conviction that he's willing to take some punches in order to achieve whatever his ambition is. So I like that. It's gonna make every sequence now where that has Shigure, it's gonna make me pay attention even more now. I mean, I was already kind of paying attention, but now it's gonna fucking increase my guard. So the episode did a great job on that, and it gave more layers to Kyo because it implied that there might be a legitimate reason as to why Kyo hates Yuki, which is also relatively interesting because he doesn't even want to share that information with Toru. And you can even tell, like, it surprised Toru, and she's like, it's fine even if you don't like Yuki. But Toru would have liked it if he would have gone along with Yuki. So that's also another interesting sequence there. Slowly building up some emotional turmoil and some tension between the Zodiac members. So I thought from a character standpoint, it did quite a good amount of significant things. And it got some pieces moving. So that was nice. And aside from that, from a story standpoint, it was interesting. There was a lot of humorous sequences, like the random ass scene where Shigure's editor is about to why's my arm red? About to like stab herself, slit her wrist, because she's the editor of Shigure, and then at just the right time, Shigure shows up and stops her. That scene was kind of funny and hilarious out of nowhere. And then the sequence where Kagura's like wanting to like for Kyo to take the double date at all costs. So those were also some other hilarious instances. Or when all these girls had like dark, evil looking faces when they were all fucking wanting to give Yuki some nice chocolate. So there were some nice humorous sequences here and there. And I'd say really the animation was the only thing that wasn't up to usual Fruit Basket's quality. It wasn't as great as some of the previous episodes. There was a few dirt faces here and there. But for the most part, though, it relatively got the job done, and the Shigure flashback sequences did look good to its credit. And the art, so that's what I felt about the art animation. And the soundtrack got the job done. There wasn't really anything that was noteworthy there. And I'd say overall, I'm going to rate this episode a 7 out of 10. I thought it was pretty good. So anyways, guys and gals, these are my thoughts on Fruit Baskets episode 10. Comment out your thoughts in the comment section below and how you felt about the episode. Rate the video, subscribe, share the video if y'all want to, and I'll see you guys later if you subscribe for more. Thank you all so much for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.